everybody out there. This is Seto, and today for you guys, we're with my ride and my friend here who made top 32 at YCS Columbus, the 200. So, without further ado, let's show this beautiful mat off right here first, which is beautiful. Beautiful. And let us do this deck profile. So, let's get started.
Paleo frog. So first off, we got these boys. It's been the same since like code was printed. 332. This ratio is kind of solid. If you play this, the shiny one, all them work, as it turns out. I saw like 4 of them in 2 games.
Hey, you told me those hollows are beautiful. They help you.
They're good. But yeah, these cards, nuts. Yeah, you aren't here to see the frogs. You know what the frogs are. You're here to see the best. So for the spells, I'm playing 3 desires, 2 scapegoat. The desires, 3 is correct. I banished 2 of these guys twice. I won both those games because I resolved desires. And I drew like good cards and I was able to keep playing and floodgate. Floodgates, a lot of floodgates in here because you can run them all and all of them scapegoat. 2 scapegoat, even with Gozen match, scapegoat is nuts. You can resolve it pretty far under Gozen. You can get to, I think, a card that's better than Paleo, just like what you ended on usually, or like Nightmare. You can go into Nigirsu, because he is Earth, and then you have these guys, which are all Earth. Go into Nigirsu. First you attack for 49, because 49 is a lot of damage. Main phase 2, go into Nigirsu. And Nigirsu, effect send, pop whatever. In an open get like in a pretty like simplified game state with Nigirsu out, he's so hard to get up because he's taking a card a turn, like Gozen matches up, Nigirsu's out, you're taking a card a turn away from them, and attack for 2/5, that'll finish the game quick.
Amen.
And the scapegoat is good. It's good. It's gonna be good.
I like the theory on the 3 desires though. A lot of people argue for 2.
He's not.
I understand because you want to draw.
Yeah.
You want to draw it, so you play 3. I think
You must not be cursed by desires. Desires, banish 10, draw desires.
I mean, like if I do that, I mean I draw a card. That's fine.
True.
Paleo ratios. So interesting about this deck is Paleos might be the worst cards in it as far as like setting them on field and then flipping them and activating their effects. It's sort of like damage control. Because they don't do as much as like Solemn Strike or Gozen Match or Heavy Storm Duster. Mainly what they're for is just being engraved and triggering something, just extending your plays. This is really strong. Probably the best one, MST, beat Geist, beat Trickstar, beat Mech-Knight, Evote. It's really strong. This is actually decent against like the low meta, except for Sky Striker, because it's just literally a dead card against them. As soon as you see Ray, activate it just to get in the grave.
That works.
This one, it's okay. It's mostly, I keep it in if I need to like hit back row more, and I'm like scared of Geist or something. Keep it in against them. But yeah, it's the ratio. About Morella, there's a theory with Morella. Morella is not that good this format because it's just a -1. What you're doing with it is pretty much always sending a Lost Winds, and Lost Winds is not super good in a field of like Trickstars and Geists. Like half your matches, it'll do really nothing. Even in the matches it's good in, where it's like good against Goki, but if you send it from deck, it's not going to be useful in time unless you have Gozen, and then what you can do is target try it with that, and then put Gozen break the board. But I never saw Goki, so you know, I guess I'm precognition. Even in Sky Striker, where you're pretty much guaranteed to resolve it twice, that's really not what you want to be doing against that deck. Like in the beginning, yes, stop the monsters, but they have like 10 cards available to them at any given time, and most of them are like spells. They just don't really care that much about the monster effects. They just kind of they have a ton of resources already. It's just not super useful. And they will have a ton of resources by the time you get this out of grave instead of take a turn. So yeah, Morella's not in the deck. I played these. I was happy with these ratios. Yeah, it's just 3. So into the cards that are not pretty much the engine. I played every Solemn in the game. Dang. They were very good. This won me games by just Solemning random spells. Like, I Solemned Afterburner, won a game in top 64. I Solemned Spiral Resort, and that was my winning in day 1. And I had 2 of the Book of Moon Paleo set, and I just book them into Spiral Monsters and made Toad next turn to 1. Strike is Strike. Hits every deck. Some decks it's not as good against, and I've like sided out in lieu of better cards inside deck. Going second, I often keep this in, but take these two out because they're not going to stop monster effects. This man is really grindy, so like this is going to be live at some point. Unless you're playing against Goki, and even then you keep it in because it'll break the Yulin core with Gozen. But yeah, this just kind of stops plays. I don't want my opponent playing. My deck sometimes it takes a few turns to get off, get started, and I don't want them to having his play in that time. Also, this can stop Red Reboot, stop Evenly Matched, which came up a lot actually. I saw a lot of Evenly Matched today, which I expected. So we have Dusters. This is not Impermanence. It was this or Impermanence. Impermanence is inside, this is in the main. I just figured out that this is just better against more meta decks. Even second, like I kept it in going second every game against Geist and against Trickstar because you just pop their back row. And without back row, those decks really don't do anything at all. It's a +1. It is so good. It is literally like I can't say enough about how good this is against Geist. Your deck's already pretty strong against Geist. This in end phase, like they don't settle that much. So like 2 end phase pop their back row and they have 0. They have nothing at all to do that turn. You kind of just win. But yeah, this was really good all day MVP card definitely.
I just can't stop staring at Reckless Greed.
I know, I saw that too.
So yeah, let's talk about it. Reckless Greed is an amazing card. It is an amazing card. The only time it is like not amazing to draw in your hand is if your hand is like 1 interruption and then Reckless Greed and a bunch of like stuff that doesn't do much. Because if they can play through 1 interruption, then Reckless Greed, like who cares about Reckless Greed? And then they can kill you. But in this meta, that doesn't come up often because you don't die at turn 1. You really don't get OTK'd, you don't get like, unless you're running, Goki. But I didn't really see, as I said, I didn't see Goki, I saw 1 Spiral. And this is just draw 2 cards, summon Paleo from grave. Enough said, pretty much.
Shout out to my local card shop.
It's great all day. Floodgates.
Shout out to everyone who
Field Order?
at YCS.
Field Order, yeah. Pretty much that. It beats, all these beat invokes, but this beats invoke the hardest because all they do is summon Mech Knights and then they're just zipping around the bandage zone field, whatever. Alright, but you can't do anything, so that's fine. Same goes for these 2.
Gigantic ass YCS.
Floodgates.
Floodgates. These are the 2 best floodgates in the game. Better than Rivalry. Rivalry doesn't hit everything. This hits everything. You can resolve Scapegoat like I showed you under this. You can't under Rivalry. This is everything. Like you just flip it when they summon the token at Sky Striker. Or here's a little theory. It's Sky Striker. So when they summon the token, do this. If they have a spell engrave, then you should probably just flip it on open game state. Because if they summon Ray, they can tag out, add the spell back to hand, and they have a Kagari on field. Then you want to keep them lower on resources. But it was great. It was great.
Alright, onwards to the extra.
Yeah. Yep. Mistake, same thing, hits everything. It's great.
You can very much tell you do love this deck. You're very passionate about it.
Yeah. I've played it since it came out. That's when I got back into Yu-Gi-Oh! And then I started playing. I picked up Paleo, went to my first locals, then I went to my first regional with it, and I thought my first regional with Paleo. It was pretty cool. But yeah, 3 Toad. Toad is so good. He's so good. He's a negate. He's an extender. He summons resources from deck for free. It's so good. If you summon Toad, guaranteed next turn you're going into a Starboy Toad. And most of the time, if you have like anything other than like just the Toad, you're gonna bounce the swap back. You're gonna have a swap frog in hands, in addition to like Starboy Toad on field, which is just nuts. He's the negate. You kind of have to play a little bit safe around Geists because you can't, negate their stuff. And if you summon from deck, they'll just kill you with protocol. So what you have to do, he's 22, which is bigger than all their dudes. So you just have to keep them off of Hextia. You have to keep them off of Hextia and just keep killing stuff with Toad. And that did come up at one point. But yeah, Toad was so good. Toad might be the best, probably the best Xyz monster in the game right now. Definitely. Might be the best, just like extra deck monster in the game, period. just like Izolde is yes, but Izolde Toad is good at all points of the game forever. If you strike him, he's fine. You make him again next turn because you add a frog to hand. Oh, he's so good. I love Toad so much. Next we have Paleozoics, Manassas, and Opinion. I didn't make either of these today. It's definitely correct to play them. Reason being, they do come up against like you out. I don't want to say you out floodgates with this because you don't really get floodgated, but like it comes up against Geist. It comes up against matchups that like you have to run over things that are bigger than Toad, and you're kind of constrained for resources, so you have to search Dynamiscus from deck to get that. But the main problem is that Opabinia will, it's not gonna like, nothing's happening to Opabinia. So you summon another monster, like next turn you summon a frog, soft frog, okay, there's no Opabinia there. You have to link it away, you don't get anything for linking it away. It's just not, it's not really that great. It was so good, Master Roll 3. It was like super extender, kill them, make 6/6s, F0, the thing, but yeah. Not as good now. But Manassas is a little better than this. Kind of the same deal with Geist. You make this against Geist, it's bigger than all their guys. It pops protocol if you can like bait it. But it is, I think Toad is better against Geist, but this is just kind of immune to all the monster effects. They can't, bounce it. They just kind of look at it. Pretty much. But neither of them, I didn't make either of them.
I played 2 of the big ones.
Today.
One of each of them. Because it's a name, you want to get as many names out the deck as possible.
2 Starboy. 2 did actually come up.
Stenders.
Of course, we play Starboy because he, Starboy Toad. Toad is a 2/7. You can't do anything to that. But this did come up because Spiral Sleeper is 2/8. And Spiral. This is against the Spiral player. It was just kind of like a really. He had not much, but he just summoned Sleeper. Just like summon Sleeper, no last resort. And I had a Toad Starboy out. I'm like, I make another Starboy. And Toad is really big. Ties over Sleeper.
And it was against Trickstar,
so
it's like my deck can't.
So I would play 2. There's probably an argument for playing less, playing 1.
And then
but I like 2. He does come up. You do make 2, even not at the same time, because you want to do Starboy Toad play. Then we have Olo Dragon. Olo Dragon's in there for scapegoat. He's also just freaking hard to make him sometimes. I didn't make him very much at all today. I like Ningirsu a lot more because just again in a more monster-centric meta, this guy's nuts, but we're just not even one of those. So I just felt more comfortable swinging for 49 and then popping a card.
Or I draw it off of when I go Mermaid.
This is a Cherry target. It did come up. I did actually hard make it once. I had Toad in the extra monster zone through 4 tokens. And I had to clear the code out, link with the tokens in order to continue playing. So I linked 3 tokens and Toad away into this, bounced the frog back, normal summon, made Fargo Toad. And that was enough.
You need to end up grinding for some reason.
I showed you these guys already a lot of times. I can't say enough about how good these are. This was so good. And just again, you can make all this under Gozen. Go big. 49.
Why they're all at 1 because they're literally broken.
Good. This guy, open game state. He's so good. 2/5, pop card return.
Just because
he's so. I can't say enough. He was the MVP.
It helps out with that.
I have 2 Nightmares.
I got 42. I played the 2 shots.
Nightmares did not actually get made. I made this guy because I needed to link an Ashaway, in order to get to game once, but I never actually used their effects a lot. But it's definitely correct to play them. They are really strong utility cards.
Alright, so I did.
I have a lot of stuff here.
I never felt like I needed.
I was terrified of Goki, so I sided a lot. And clearly Midbreaker stops this, but if they don't have Midbreaker, this kind of just beats them. Like Ogre Summons work, And Cherry's Firewall, what do they do? Ash is just good in general. This is pretty good in general. I didn't side this in as much as Ash, because most of the time, I don't need to constrain their plays as much turn 1. I can just pop them with Duster or Floodgate him or whatever turn 2. But Ash did come in a lot. It was very strong. I did see Geist and Trickstar and Meknight and striker. All my matchups. Just came in against Geist. Some of the time, I would just like even going second, I would leave. I would slide in this card.
So yeah, basically like they go in every time. Inspector board,
I would slide in this and that's all I would slide because they're not doing much turn 1. And turn 2, you're just gonna pull them out.
Super like standard.
Draw this, stop their plays. That's fine too.
Pretty much.
Any final shoutouts?
Shoutouts to the Island Games. Shoutouts to Mono Beef on Yu-Gi-Oh. A good friend of mine. He did it at profile as well.
The rest of it is just straight back.
Shoutouts to Michael Johnson for driving me.
Amen to that man back there. He's back here.
Yeah.
With their shit. This is the blows that blows Sky Strikers.
How much else?
Street Twin.
Thank you very much. Thank you, man.